So Andy, what's your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was a really good first half performance and kind of a difficult one really, that you're coming off from a game that you've lost 5-1, but you're picking positives and you can see really at the end there that, you know, all the girls have give absolutely everything, and I think that's the main thing really in these tough games against teams that we think will be probably in the top 4 of this league, you know, and pushing. You know, we're learning as we go along, but that's just from what we've seen. It's difficult because you get punished, and I think the momentum then shifts in the second half with a mistake for the second goal, and then they just capitalise on it, and then it's kind of mercenary then, isn't it? It goes on, and the adrenaline that's maybe pushing some of the players on starts to diminish as you concede a couple more goals, and you want to be in the game. You want to continue to chase like you did in the first half, you know, where we've had good moments in that first half. We've had some really good set piece opportunities. I think we had 5 corners in the first half, and we've put some outstanding deliveries into the box, and we've got to capitalise on the right moments in their box, because we know at some point the opposition at that level will do the same to us, and probably more effectively as they did in the second half.
Like you touched on there, Rugby came into the game top of the league, and in the first half you took it to them and went in at half-time level. That must be a big positive coming away from the game.
Yeah, and it is, you know, you've got to focus on kind of rationalising where we've come from, and every week we're going to grow and we're going to learn, and there's things that will develop over the next few weeks and months. Do you know what I mean? And we know we've identified the games where we're probably going to be more matched with some of the teams that are across this league, and that doesn't mean that we can't pull results. It just means that we've got to be absolutely exceptional, and some of the teams at the top end of this league have got to have an off week, and you know, that's going to be few and far between from what I've seen so far, just because, you know, you look at some of the results across the league, let alone the games that we've been involved in. But yeah, you know, there's definite progress, and I think that's the key bit really, especially when you're losing football matches. You've got to look at the progress that you've got with players. There's a few players that are late coming in, and we did a bit of a roll call in the week on how many players that we'd recruited, and if you're recruiting 15 players, it's going to be very, very difficult to get them to click straight away, and we learnt that last season. There was quite a heavy recruitment, and the back end of the season was remarkable really on how we got the girls to click, and I do think that this season will be similar. I think it will take time, and there'll be important moments in games where we need to defend better, and we need to put the ball in the net.
The goal in the first half for Sporting was the obvious highlight. It was a stunning goal. You must have been overjoyed to see that going into the net, and how it went into the net as well.
I just think if you score goals at the right times, it breeds confidence, and especially, like I say, when you've shipped a few goals, and it was a difficult, you know, game last week at Forest. So we knew Rugby had the quality, you know, similar to Forest if we give them that opportunity. So, you know, I've said to the girls, whenever we score, we celebrate, and that doesn't just come across goals. It's like last week when we've kept the ball off the, you know, out the goal, I think 4 or 5 times from off the line, etc. So we're going to have to celebrate things a little bit differently this season, and keep the green energy, keep the positive energy, because there is positives. You know, I've been in football a long time to see that, you know, that there is positives, but you will get punished against really, really good sides if we do some of the things that we did in the second half.
It got a bit away from you in the second half, like you touched on there. Where do you think it went wrong, really?
I just think the second and third goal were going to be crucial, you know, and Rugby got them, and then we've got to chase the game, and by doing that, you open up more opportunities. And like we say, the adrenaline doesn't quite work as much when you're 3-1 down as when you're in a 1-1. So I think we've just got to work harder at staying in games for longer, and ultimately understanding the threat of other sides, and we'll go back, we'll look at things, and we'll develop things, and like I say, the longer we keep this group together over the season, I think the stronger we will get. I know other teams will get stronger as well. So, you know, it's ultimately, like I say, it's just continuing to do the right things, and I think, you know, like I say, we do a few things a little bit more effectively, and you'll come off on more of a positive result.
And obviously West Brom up next week. What are your thoughts going into that? Any early ones?
Yeah, I think, you know, Baggies, we know them well. You know, we've played a game kind of back end of the season, so we know Baggies are a good side. They're going to be at the Hawthorns, and there'll probably be quite a few fans there. So you know, it'll be a tough game. I don't expect anything less than what we've faced so far. But like I say, we'll prepare for West Brom at training this week, and try and put on a performance like we did in the first half, and sustain that for 90 minutes. And I think if we do that, you know, certainly in the next few weeks, we'll be getting the positive results that we need.
Thank you, Andy.